I'm giving myself 1 week to learn CAD and design my dream maker workshop, mostly so I would stop procrastinating and actually, get it done. Failure is not an option, or I won't be able to spend thousands of dollars on all the big power tools I very much absolutely need.
Wait, what? I never agreed to that. Who decided that? I'm about to order them. Was it you? What the heck?
Stop talking and get back to work, humans.
Stop it, Nightmare Gundam. Who do you think you are? What's up with this light? Better. Alright, let me explain. This is my workshop. It's tiny, empty, and about to be filled with big power tools. Hopefully. But for that, I need a plan. So I'm challenging myself to learn CAD, computer-aided design, in just 7 days. The stakes? Pretty high apparently. You may not know this about me, but I love buying new tools. I'm basically building a crazy arcane punk / steampunk inventor workshop. All right, let's go back. Whoa! Oh! Time to pick my CAD software. Onshape, $1,500 a year. Nope. SolidWorks, expensive, like really expensive. Forget it. Tinkercad, too basic. What does that leave us? Fusion. It's powerful, has ton of resources online, and it won't bankrupt me. I found the Learn Fusion 360 in 30 Days series on YouTube, and I think I'm gonna use that. But I don't have 30 days. So I'm cramming it all in 1 day. Because why take my time when I can just suffer for a few hours?
Oh, you poor soul. Suffer, you did indeed. That old version of me had no idea what it was getting into.
Wow.
If I clear
The plan was simple. Spend about 4 or 5 hours a day learning CAD for the next 7 days. Starting on day 1 with a free YouTube course to learn the basics. Then move on to designing my own stuff. A phone stand with wireless charging on day 2, my very own workbench on day 3 and 4, and finally, use the last 3 days to design the entire workshop. Well, I'll tell you right now, things did not go according to plan.
Whoa. Slow down your horses. I don't think I did it right.
First red flag. It took me 30 minutes to get through the first video, a 10-minute tutorial on designing a Lego brick. You see the problem, right? Getting through 30 of those in a single day was going to be pretty much impossible. And that was just the beginning.
okay.
What?
I'll type 3 for the quantity.
The edge of this.
Welcome to day.
We are 30 minutes in. We built a Lego block and it was very hard. I'm not kidding.
To be fair, I've never been great at paying attention in class. And that's been true since high school.
Wait, what do I do?
Hit undo if you need to reverse.
What?
It's important to note that you cannot hit the escape key, creating your last line.
Yeah, I did hit the escape key and shouldn't have, hence the frustration.
It took me an hour to go through 2 10-minute videos.
But I powered through the first 8 videos. Each one drained me a little bit and chipped away at my sanity.
Cool. Ooh. Blue LEDs. I need that. Looks like today is not gonna be a very productive first day. Looks like I can't focus more than an hour on doing that stuff before I get restless and I need to go do something else for a bit. But I think my goal for today is gonna be to do another hour and a half and let's see how much we can get done.
A few more videos in and I started getting really frustrated.
What did I do wrong? What?
The phone case project was my breaking point. I hit the wall hard and just imploded.
This reminds me of school, high school, university. And I hate it.
4 hours of studying, 10 chapters out of 30, and absolutely nothing left in the tank. Yeah, this 7-day challenge was not off to a great start.
This is so frustrating. What? Écran. No. Air. I'm done. I'm sorry, but it's so frustrating, my god. I hate to follow tutorials. It was only about 4 hours spent today on learning and going through 10 EPs. God, it's taking forever and I'm not enjoying it at all. I'm still gonna finish it and we'll build our own stuff. And that will be way more fun. I hope. Bye.
Day 2 was supposed to be the start of my own design. My first original project, a phone stand.
A bit presumptuous, wasn't it?
I had 20 lessons left. And after day 1, let's just say my optimism was gone.
I'm also not really looking forward to the rest of this challenge. Like, I already spent, during the week, I spent like 8 hours in front of a computer doing like software development and stuff like that. So, adding another 4 hours of CAD design, it's not gonna be fun. Like, usually after doing my software consulting work, I get to go into the workshop and actually start building stuff with my hand, which I actually love, and it's like a nice change, but this is gonna be a lot of computer work.
Problems started right away with lesson 11 when I tried to design a dog bowl.
Not working at all.
Then came the screwdriver, which, in a poetic twist, completely screwed me over.
Earth is to the original.
And if you're wondering, yes, my chair pillow being upside down is driving me insane as I'm editing this.
Oh, I'm really struggling. Can't do more than a few hours learning that stuff. It's so... Ugh. But I need to learn it. I don't have a choice. Because I need to properly design my next build. So let's get back to it.
By the end of the day, I'd clawed my way through 9 more lessons. But holy moly was it rough. My confidence was at an all-time low. Fun was non-existent, and each lesson was somehow more frustrating than the last one. Why am I doing this to myself again? Ah, right, tools and a dream workshop. At that point, I started wondering if it was all worth it. The only thing keeping me sane was knowing that I'd already finished 2/3 of the tutorial and was almost done. My eyes were now open to the harsh truth. Learning CAD is hard.
This is now day 3. This entire challenge isn't going well. By day 3, I was supposed to be done with the tutorial and having already designed the phone stand. But I'm only 2/3 into the tutorial. So hopefully I'm gonna finish it today and maybe I'll have time to design the phone holder, but we'll see about that. Safety first. How do I delete this? Oh my god, 5 minutes in.
Day 3 was more of the same. Frustration, confusion, and way too much caffeine. I did get excited about 3D printing one of the designs, but I couldn't get it to work. After some painful troubleshooting, I found out why. My Lego Neptune 4 Plus does not like file names with special characters. In fact, it will literally refuse to print anything if there's even one bad file on the USB drive. Anyway, after 11 more lessons, I was finally done. Best feeling ever. Don't get me wrong, it's a great course. A bit frustrating at times, sure, and maybe a little outdated in places, but for a free resource, it's incredible. I think the frustration just comes with learning CAD. It has to hurt before it clicks. But now, I was finally ready to start designing my own stuff. The only question was, did I actually learn anything by blindly following those videos or not? That answer would be revealed the next day, and it might just surprise you.
We're done. It took me 3 days to go through the tutorial instead of 1. Now it's time for bed.
Day 4 was originally supposed to be about designing my workbench, But since I'd spent 3 full days slogging through the tutorials, I now had to tackle the project I had postponed on day 2. My very own phone stand. And honestly, it went surprisingly well.
Something a little bit weird like that, kind of what I like to do.
I started by using an existing phone stand as a reference, then did a quick paper sketch to figure out the style I wanted. From there, I designed the base, roughed out the phone holding part, and finalized everything by cutting out sections and adding chamfers and fillets. For the first time in this challenge, I wasn't just following instructions, I was actually creating something of my own, and it felt amazing. The CAD design process basically boils down to a few simple steps. Step 1. Draw a flat sketch on a specific plane. Step 2. Extrude it. That's what turns your flat sketch into a 3D object. Step 3. Customize that 3D shape using tools like chamfer, which adds a bevel for example, or by sketching additional components and adding or removing them through the same steps again. Step 4. Repeat step 1 through 3 until you're done. The interesting thing, and the part that really reminds me of software development, is that I feel expertise is less about what you're making and more about how you're making it. For example, you can brute force your way to a result by manually drawing every little square you want, or you can use the rectangular pattern tool and finish it in a couple of minutes. That, I think, is what separates great CAD designers from beginners. The efficiency and elegance that go into building a part with the fewest number of steps. And hey, if you're a pro CAD designer, let me know if you agree or disagree down in the comments. I've literally only been using Fusion for a week, so I'm still very much a newbie with a lot to learn.
That's not bad at all. Alright, so I went to grab a couple of things. The most important being this wireless charger. So as you know, my plan is to 3D print this, and then I'm gonna put this inside. So I need to add some space for it. So yeah, it took me about an hour and a half to design that after spending 3 days learning CAD. I am pretty happy with the result, honestly. Alright guys, so this is kind of cool. Unfortunately, there was a couple of print failure, so that's too bad. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. You can see the logo, center one, and the best part is it actually fits my phone perfectly and can actually stand. So for a first functional print, I don't think it's too bad, except for the part where this does not fit at all. How did I mess that up? What is the true diameter of this thing? 55, so let's go with 56. That should give us a tight fit.
While I was able to get Mark 0 of the phone stand to print pretty well, I ran into countless failures when trying to print Mark 1. Finally, after multiple failed attempts, I got a successful print and was excited to try and fit the wireless charger in there.
It doesn't fit. Oh no! Ah, so close. I think I can force.
Don't force it.
Yes! Yes, it fits! It broke, but it fits! It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone is fine.
The moment of truth. It's too thick.
Yes! It's working!
Cool. Congratulations.
It works! Oh god, I still have so much to learn though. And I feel like it might be time to upgrade my 3D printer. So, Bamboo Lab, if you're watching this video, hit me up. Thanks. Literally no chance this is gonna happen. Unless you help me by subscribing. Thank you. Alright, how are we gonna make this workbench?
Meanwhile, I also started prototyping the workbench, building the top panel and mocking up a rough versions of the wheels I had bought. It wasn't perfect, but it finally felt like progress towards my workshop. After 3 days of suffering through the tutorials, working on my own project felt like pure joy. But the truth is, I couldn't have done it without all the painful prep work.
It's squarey, but you know, it does the job really. Cool.
Designing the wheels, tabletop and frame for my workbench actually went surprisingly well. Everything was coming together and honestly, it looked great.
Nice. Honestly, don't you guys love it? It will be sturdy as hell, which is what I'm aiming for, because I don't know if you've seen my other videos, but the like shaking constantly, it's so annoying.
Then came the dog holes. Those classic holes you see on every woodworking bench where you can drop clamps. They're usually 20mm wide, everywhere in the world, but 19mm in the US, since that's basically 3/4 of an inch. So once again, the ultimate clash, metric versus imperial. So, which one did I pick? Cue 20 minutes of existential crisis over 1mm. Before I ended up going with 20mm dog holes. Sorry, I am French after all. Next up was the vise. I put it on the side of the bench, only to realize later it should have been on the front. Don't worry though, I fixed it a bit later. I ended up moving the vise, adding some nice edge boards, and then I called it good.
Alright guys, I think unfortunately that's gonna be it for today. I am knackered, as my British friend would say. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make the front part of the workbench. I mean, I started to do it a little bit, but it's gonna take forever. So I think we can count today as a success because I did design my workbench, at least the view 1. And you know, I'll be upgrading it and all that. So I have 2 days left in this challenge. And I'm gonna just work on the workshop, try to make a rough version of it at least, including this workbench in there. And then you know, all the tools that I'm planning to buy, see how it all fits together, and hopefully I can do all that in 2 days. Day 6, and today we're starting to design the workshop. I just realized that before we can get started, I actually need to go and measure the whole room. It's a bit of a mess, and I'm kind of like cleaning, drying these 2x4s for the workbench because they are full of mold. The joy of living in a humid country. Okay, I think that's it. We got this thing, and we also have all the measures for the room. Now let's model it in CAD and fill it up with tools. Woo! And we're back. All right, let's model this.
I started my workshop design by creating the layout of the room, floor, walls, and ceiling. Of course, I had forgotten to measure quite a few things during my trip to the workshop.
I'll be right back. Got to check the size. Measure one more thing.
After dropping my workbench in the room, I moved on to designing the back wall. Easily the most important wall in the room. It's going to have a lot of responsibilities. First, it will provide a nice looking backdrop for my videos. It will also add some much needed storage to the workshop. And it will separate the messy woodworking space from the storage area. And finally, la cerise sur le gâteau, it will have a super cool hidden door to access the storage space behind. With the wall framing done, I decided to shift my focus to tool placement, trying to fit as many power tools as I could into this tiny space. For reference, the entire workshop is only 7.2 square meters. or 77 square feet, if you're into feet. And yes, those big grey boxes currently represent power tools. It will make a lot more sense on day 7, once I import some proper models and finish up the room. So it's becoming apparent that fitting all the tools I want, so a small table saw, a bandsaw, a miter saw, and a jointer in a small room like I have is gonna be very hard. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Morning guys! Today is a very special day because it's day 7, which means it's the last day of the challenge and I need to finish designing my workshop. Honestly, I think I can get probably 90% there, but I can't get into too much detail. That would take me probably another week. So we're gonna finish the rough layout, define where I want to put cabinet and stuff like this, and then the refinements are gonna have to come a bit later. But I'll do as much as possible today. To get a better sense of the workshop, I imported some tool models. Not the actual ones I'll buy, just ones that are close enough to the real thing. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tight in there. And if you want to see whether I can actually make anything in that tiny, fully equipped room, don't forget to subscribe. With the tools in place, I turned my attention back to the rear wall and storage. I wanted to make the most of the vertical space, which meant drawers and cabinets all the way up to the ceiling. Then came the hidden door. Figuring out the hinge took some fiddling, but I eventually got it working and realized it still wasn't enough.
What am I doing? Oh my god. Okay, this is hard. What are you doing there? You want to see my workshop?
I'm hungry, I have to find something.
You love it?
Yeah.
Yes, it's tight, but I don't have a choice. But I found kind of a problem. The door can't open more than 100 degrees. Ah, that's lame.
I would need to add rails to be able to open the door enough to move big tools in and out. So it will end up working a bit like a pocket door. Finally, I did a last few minute cleanups. Painted the walls black, added supports for lumber storage, and finally...
Well, here we are guys. I've finished the rough version of my workshop in CAD. But I hope this challenge has shown you that, anyone can do this. If you just dedicate about 4 hours a day for 7 days to picking up CAD, you will also be able to design your own stuff. And that's really cool.
If you're trying to learn CAD, here are a few tips I picked up this past week. Number 1, take your time. It's easy to get frustrated, trust me, I know. You probably saw how frustrated I got a few times, but that was mostly due to me trying to rush through it and trying to squeeze everything in a single week for this challenge. Not the best idea, but hey, that deadline really lit a fire under my bum, which is exactly what I needed apparently. Number 2, go through a good tutorial before you try to build your own stuff. Shout out to Product Design Online for putting out such a great tutorial for free. Just make sure to block some proper time to go through it, because it does really require your full focus. Number 3, mix tutorials with real projects. Once you follow the tutorial, try designing something personal right after. It's such an amazing feeling, honestly, and I think it's the best way to really lock in what you've learned. And finally, don't forget to have fun. The learning curve is pretty steep, but every single thing you manage to design feels incredibly satisfying. And that's it for this challenge, and I'm giving myself a pass. Can you comment pass below if you're giving me one too, please? I'd really appreciate it, thanks. And of course, feel free to leave a huge big fail if you disagree. It's all good. And I'll pick one of the commenters, pass or fail, for a shout out in the next video. Anyway, let's briefly talk about this week. I spent about 28 hours learning and designing in CAD, and I went from total newbie to less of a newbie. I'm still far from an expert, but now I can design what's in my head, which feels amazing. But you know what's the biggest win of the week? I actually managed to design my workshop, more or less. And it allows me to finally order all those big tools I want. So if you want to see how it all turns out, make sure to subscribe. Because the real fun starts now.